Hi, my name is Michael Lozano. Today I'm going to be talking about my fifth year senior project proposal ideas. My project is focusing on looking into sustainability of golf course design. So, personal introduction, I am attending Cal Poly here in San Luis Obispo, California. I am a landscape architecture major. I'm currently in my fourth year doing research for my senior project, about to go into my fifth year in this upcoming fall in 2020. And like I said, this is my senior project, and I guess the main reason why I'm doing this is because I love golf. But let's look at the real reason why I want to do golf course design. So, a little bit of background, I was introduced to golf back in high school. I started my freshman year, and ever since then, I've fallen in love with the sport. It has bettered my life in the sense that it is a great form of one recreation, but it also teaches a lot of core values such as patience, dedication, and it just really trains you to work hard and persevere through difficult challenges. Also, the nature behind each golf course is very unique. Each one can tie into the local context and history of a place. So, one thing I want to do for this golf course design project is advocate for golf's importance and benefits that it can have on society, because I know there's a lot of negative thoughts about golf and golf courses in general, which are fairly addressed, but it's something I want to address in the issues I'm going to present here today. So I want to talk more about how golf improves life a little bit. Like I said, it's a form of recreation that connects people with nature and the surrounding environment. It offers opportunities for growth, mainly through, like I said, learning patience, dedication, and discipline. Experience on the golf course can relate back to experiences in life. Another one is that it offers a chance for recreation and extracurricular activity. More benefits here. The average golfer walks about 4 miles for 18 holes, which is about 14,000 calories, which is actually a pretty big workout, considering that people don't consider golf a sport. Walking the course helps you build muscle strength and improve overall cardiovascular function. The golf swing itself can promote core muscle strength. You become a lot better at decision making skills, as it is a very complicated sport that requires you to make a lot of decisions and think about your shots differently. So there are dilemmas with the golf and golf course design, which is kind of what brought about these negative thoughts about golf courses. The first is that they're environmentally unsustainable. Many of the designs that resulted from these big booms in golf courses over the past couple of decades, they were constructed without environmental considerations, so they became very unsustainable in ways. Also, there's a declining demand for golf, and there's three big reasons. It's because it's too difficult, takes too much time, and it is too expensive. There's also things like a lack of diversity in golf. Golf is mainly known as a white male sport, and there's a lot of effects on local economy, tourism, gentrification, wildlife, and natural and local environment. So addressing the three big reasons about difficulty, time, and cost, the background behind this is the USGA allowance for intense technological advances. People wanted to start designing golf courses as golf clubs and golf balls allowed players to hit farther, but this really only pertained to professionals. So amateurs kind of stayed about the same, and you started seeing these amateurs having to play on these more professionally designed golf courses that became a lot longer and a lot harder. Longer courses also meant longer games, with the average 18-hole game today being about 4.5 hours long. Most average golfers have responsibilities such as work and childcare, so being able to play something that's 4.5 hours long isn't always feasible. Also, these longer courses require more maintenance, so they become a lot more unsustainable over time. And the golf courses also became more difficult as they were more designed for pros, in the sense there's more water and sand hazards and thicker roughs and more trees that the amateur really couldn't deal with. So another thing to look at are the sustainability aspect of golf course designs. When I say sustainability, I mean three things. There's the economic, there's the environmental, and then there's the social equity part of sustainability. So during the last period of the golf course boom, which happened in the 1990s and 2000s, the rush to produce golf courses had led to an oversight of environmental concerns, as I've said before, and they kind of wanted to follow this US ideal of golf courses with these lush green courses that required a lot of maintenance, a lot of fertilizers, and things like that. And so too many golf courses were built often in places where they did not belong. And the main concern with golf courses today is water, with the average one using about 24 million gallons of water a month. Things like using pesticides and fertilizers can pollute the environment, pollute rivers nearby, and even kill off wildlife. There's a lot to uphold these ideal looking courses, so they require a lot of maintenance. Looking into the economic side of sustainability now, golf has become a lot more expensive. It started kind of with the cost of golf course construction in general, with it in the 1990s shooting all the way up to about $7.2 million per golf course to construct, versus in the 1960s when it was only $360,000. And there's also a debate about whether or not golf courses positively or negatively impact a local economy, but this is going to vary based on location, based on things like tourism attraction and such like that. The skyrocketing costs of construction and maintenance have created a parallel and increased costs for people to play on courses and membership prices, which again is driving more people away from golf course design. Looking at the social leg of sustainability now, going back to this idea that golf is a older elitist white man sport. This is based on the history of golf, where a lot of players back in the early 1900s were only in the US allowed to be white and male. And a lot of these places were country clubs, they were private, held off from the public. But now, even though over 80% of golf courses today are open to the public, there's still a lot of things like high costs and these fixed mindsets that allow this label to still exist. And in the golfing population, like I said, there's a lack of diversity. You only see things like 24% of golfers are women and 26% are non-Caucasian. So there are a number of reasons these groups still struggle to enter the golf world, even as events of creation such as the Ladies Professional Golf Association that was meant to go along with the Professional Golf Association that is mainly and only typically men, and things like the rise of Tiger Woods, which were meant to be breaking into this barrier of being a white man's sport only. For example, looking at women specifically, they face tokenism, statistical discrimination, and social closure, and all these lead to a higher dropout rate of women than men. So design ideas I have to combat some of these issues. For time management, one may be reverting back to these shorter courses again that are more designed for amateur skill-based levels, and also little things like creating loops that are 3, 6, 9, and 18 holes long versus just the traditional 9-hole loop and 18-hole loop. Reducing and eliminating things like water hazards, these thick roughs, bunkers, trees, things like that. Not only will that make the game easier, but it'll reduce a lot of maintenance required for these golf courses. And lastly, kind of to design a multi-use design. So as much as I want to pertain to golfers in this, golfers only make so much of a community's population, and it's not fair to use such a wide space only to pertain to what might be less than 10% of the community's population. So maybe doing something where parts of the year this golf course transforms into like an open space for the public to use, and each hole becomes like a different design of some kind. Something that everyone can get a use out of this golf course a little bit. Program and policy ideas. So golf course sustainability goes way beyond golf course design, which is what my main strategy is. But in this project, because I have a little bit more flexibility, I want to create some program and policy ideas too. And to be successful, it's important that sustainable programs and policies are put into place. So things that can help out the community more, like children's programs that are cheap for parents so they can afford it. Proper maintenance guidelines for training. That way you know who owns this golf course after knows how to properly maintain it and still be sustainable. And then advocacy for all these benefits that golf provides, as well as diverse staff and programs, because some people feel like sometimes the women feel more comfortable being taught golf and given lessons from women professionals, which would help out a lot and probably invite more people and have the game feel more inviting to people to come in. So as of right now, my project location is in the city of Los Angeles. The reason I chose this site is because there's a lot of diversity here, both in race, ethnicity, and gender and sex. So I want to create more diversity in golf within these. The other reason I chose this is because this site has a lot of issues that need to be addressed, at least in golf course design, which is things like water sustainability, pressures of displacement, and segregation of neighborhoods based on financial and racial characteristics. So a successful project here would be a great template for how to create sustainable golf courses in the future in order to be an open opportunity for everyone that's easily accessible and at the same time being environmentally sustainable and having a positive impact on the economy. So thank you for listening to my proposal, and I look forward to any feedback you might have.